Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Smiling Void. So for this video, I'm going to be answering the questions that I got asked in the comment section of my last video. The first question that I'm going to answer is, how do I get out of the friend zone? Because I am stuck there hard. I have been in this situation before. I did have a crush on a friend years ago, and what we came to terms with was friendship means a ton. Friendship can last even long after marriages. Like, if your spouse or something dies, who do you go to? You go to your best friend. And my friend, whom I had a crush on, said they wanted to keep the friendship. Our relationship that we already had as friends meant so much more because we were always there for each other. And I know that seems weird because dating means you're always there for them and stuff like that too, but we were each other's go-tos and we trusted each other so much and we cherished what we had, so we remained friends. Even though I had a huge crush on this individual. But we remained friends. We are still friends to this day. And to be honest, now that I am older, years have passed, I do not believe that that dating experience would have worked out. I think friendship was the right choice for us to keep. I would never push to get out of the friend zone. I know it can feel painful because that crush may be like super strong. You definitely have a lot of attraction to this person. Maybe you want to hold hands with them. Maybe communicate that to them. Don't be pushy by any means. Respect their boundary that they want to keep a friendship with you. Don't hurt the relationship you already have by making things awkward by any means. Respect their boundaries. Communicate with them. If they're a good enough friend, they will be willing to communicate these things with you and figure out what your friendship means, how close you two can get physically, stuff like that. But I would not push getting out of the friend zone right now so quickly because friendship is so important. It's something you do need. And if you start dating somebody and you don't have a friend, sometimes that can be very challenging because what if you get upset with your partner and you need somebody to go to for advice? I do recommend dating your best friend if you're gonna start dating, but only if your friend is comfortable with that and only if your best friend wants to take it that level too. Kei and I started out as best friends. We got really close, we were friends for many years, and then we decided to date. I love that. I love that I am now dating my best friend. But it didn't start out that way. It was never planned to be that way. And we never ever saw ourselves here. But it's the most great thing now for us. We feel very happy with each other. We feel like we have the best communication because we still act as friends. And we don't have that awkward, oh, well, I can't tell you that because I'm dating you. No, we're like friends. We communicate to each other like friends and can be open and honest with each other. We're not hiding anything from each other. So I would not push to get out of the friend zone. I know feelings are very strong. I know crushes are very strong. But that just means that person is very important to you and you want to keep them in your life for a long time. I wouldn't try to push it to a different level. Let that just fall into place. Maybe one day it will, but I wouldn't rush it. This one is a two-part question. It says, how do you know when you're in love? Also, I would like to know, how do you know if you have a strong friendship? I myself started to second guess myself on who I like and how I seem to drift away from my friends. Is it normal to want to be alone? Okay. How you know you're in love? This is gonna sound weird, but you will know. And it's going to feel a lot different than just a passion that you have or a love for a show or something, or I would describe it as better than even the love of a pet. How do you know if you have a strong friendship? Well, friendship to me means that you have somebody who is your confidant, whom you can go to and enjoy each other's company as well. Somebody who can make you happy in even times of not so happy times. A friend is someone who's there to support you. You also support them. A strong friendship goes hand in hand. It is a give and take equally. That to me is a strong friendship. And then drifting away from friends and wanting to be alone, that can be a sign of having some struggles, stress, upsetting things. I am not a counselor or a therapist, but it could even be the signs. Not this is only like these signs, and signs don't mean this is a definite, but they could be the signs of starting depression, stuff like that. Or you're not hanging out with the right people and you don't feel like you have a friendship. If you don't feel like you have a strong friendship and you're wanting to start being alone, maybe you're not with the right people. Maybe you need to find other friends, or maybe you need to communicate that with them, that, hey guys, I don't feel like we're getting along as well. I don't feel like I can confide in you. I don't feel like this. If you don't even feel like you can do that, maybe that's not a very strong friendship. So as far as wanting to be alone, it is normal to want to be alone from time to time, just not like always alone. So take care of yourself, maybe even seek some actual professional help, because I am not a trained therapist or anything like that. So I cannot give out that type of advice, but it is normal to want to be alone a little bit of the time. The next question I actually really do like. It is, I was wondering if you could give me advice on how to deal with being out of shape and quote-unquote overweight, and not having enough motivation or support to lose it. I want to lose it not for others' views, but for my own health. I love that. But I am an emotional eater, and every time I try, I end up quitting due to discouragement or feeling like I'm all alone in the struggle because I'm the only one trying. First of all, I love that you are doing this for yourself. That is the best first step. Honestly, the out of shape thing simply means like you don't feel good, like you feel out of breath, it's hard to get up and down stairs, stuff like that. Because then, let me tell you, I'm very out of shape as well. It is not a fun feeling. I've kind of let my workouts go. I'm getting back into them, and I realized how hard it is. It had been pretty easy, and then I fell off the horse, and now I'm pretty out of shape. It's harder to get up and down stairs, but my chronic pain, I let that be an excuse, and I shouldn't have, and now I kick myself whenever I get out of breath up and down stairs. Honestly, out of shape means health. It does not at all mean weight. It does not at all mean body type. It means your health. How you feel inside. Do you find it hard to get out of bed in the morning and stuff like that? And then, yes. So, I love though that you're doing it for the health. Don't worry about the weight. Don't worry about the scale. Fuck the scale. Honestly, fuck the scale. It is about your health. It is about what a doctor says is your health. Are you okay? Are you waking up refreshed? Or do you feel like you wake up groggy? That's the difference between health and not. So, I am not at all a dietitian or anything. And I understand though the feeling like there's no support and just falling off the wagon. I do get that. Honestly, the best thing to do is find a workout that is the most fun for you. Nobody else. And don't let judgment get to you. What makes you feel comfortable and happy and you're going to feel proud of yourself for getting better at, do it. Try to go for it. I really, personally, don't like gyms. I just don't. I don't like gyms. I don't like sweating with people. That's my thing. I don't like sweating with people. And I feel like there's too many meatheads there that want to make fun of you. So personally, it's not my choice. Some people, it's the only thing that motivates them. And that's awesome. Whatever motivates you. But getting discouraged, feeling like you have no support, feeling like you're the only one doing it, get into something that is going to push you to learning new skills and stuff that you're going to be excited whenever you learn a new thing. My girlfriend and I got a pole. We do pole exercises, and it is a ton of fun, and I work out super happily on it. I have fallen off the bandwagon. We've been busy, chronic pain. I shouldn't have let that become an excuse. I have jumped right back on that pole. I want to get healthy again. I want to feel the way I did whenever I was working out every day on the pole. But it was exciting. I learned new tricks. I got proud of myself every time. And then I was like, you know what? That one trick that's been kicking my butt, I'm gonna get it today. Even if it kicks my butt and I'm out of breath and I'm crying and whatnot, I will get this trick down. That motivates me. That makes me happy. And I feel accomplished, even if I'm the only one who knows. It makes me proud. It makes me happy. So, anything like that. I also did fencing, which is sword fighting. I loved fencing as a teenager. It was like my favorite thing in the entire world. I did it all the time. I was proud of myself. Every time I learned something, I actually learned all 3 swords, and I didn't quit until I mastered all 3 swords, and I was getting bored of the classes because I just had it all down, and I was winning every tournament. But it made me happy. It forced me to keep going. It drove me. Stuff like that. It doesn't have to be the stereotypical go run on a treadmill. There are tons of different exercises out there. There are tons of different fun ways to eat that don't involve nasty, disgusting food that you will absolutely despise. There are delicious diets out there. There are fun things to do with dieting. There are things out there. There are also support groups online. There might be even support groups in your community. People who are also working out, just wanting to feel better. Do not let the scale pushers get you down, because they are not what you need. Fuck the scale. Worry about how you feel in the morning. And the more times you wake up refreshed and happy in the morning, you'll understand. And you'll want to work 10 times harder at pushing yourself and making yourself happy. But honestly, yes, I love that you're doing it for health. I absolutely love that. So keep that up, because your health does mean everything. You can be any body type in the entire universe, but if you're healthy, that's awesome. And you're going to live such a happy life. You can do it though. I really do think that you can do it. I believe in you, and I know there are going to be some days that you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? But you know, you wouldn't have wrote this in if you didn't know. You know it's gonna be worth it. And you're gonna wake up so much happier. And it's gonna be awesome. And you'll thank yourself in the future for doing it. I'm proud of you though. Really am proud of you for even wanting to do this for your health. Okay, and these questions come from my Tumblr. The first one being, I'm bi and I'm not sure how to tell my family. I think they would understand and that they would support me, but I just don't know how to bring it up. Do you have any advice? Well, I'm glad that you feel like they're going to support you and you're not scared to tell them. Honestly, as for anybody thinking of coming out of the closet to their family, if you feel like they're not going to completely reject you, kick you out on the streets, and for some horrible reason not love you anymore, simply due to what you're attracted to. If you though feel comfortable that your family is going to be okay and they're going to still support you and love you, I don't really feel like it's a necessity to come out big, loud, and proud. Like, being proud, that's awesome. But I think what scares off a lot of people, especially who do not understand, is because it's made out to be this huge, big deal that makes them kind of wonder, like, okay, what is the actual undertones here? What don't I know about? Are you changing? Will everything about you change? And I think what brings them comfort the most is to realize it didn't change you a bit. I do believe that whatever you're attracted to is just what you happen to be attracted to, and it's a born-in thing. It's not anybody's choice. It's just you find yourself attracted to that. That's fine. It's just you. So allowing them to understand that it didn't change you a bit, nothing about you was going to change. They just now know that you might be bringing Sue home instead of Bill or something like that, you know? I think what really helps is that they know that you're not changing. I do fully respect being proud. I do. Being proud of who you are is a great, wonderful thing. But what scares off a lot of parents is that they think, oh, this must be a phase because you're treating it like such a huge deal that this is what you are attracted to, that maybe it's changing who you are and going to be something that you're not. I know that's not true. You know that's not true. But that's unfortunately what parents will think and worry and concern. That, oh, well, you also liked Barbies or Hot Wheels or this or that for a long time and said you would always love them, and now they're buried in your closet or sold at a garage sale because you don't like them. So now you're telling me you like boys or girls or whatnot, and oh, is this just a phase? Is this not a thing? We know that's not true, and what does it matter anyway? It's your body, it's your rights. If you're not hurting yourself or others, I don't really see why it should be made a big deal of. A lot of my friends who have been petrified to tell their parents actually knew for quite a long time and were just kind of waiting for them to start dating or come out and tell them. So I think it's one of those of, it didn't change you. It's not changing your whole personality. It's not changing anything about yourself. I just feel like taking a casual approach and being confident in yourself and just handling it just as if it's the most normal thing, because it is, helps people feel more comfortable with it, even if they were a little uneasy. If you're taking it easy and you're acting confident with it and you're not treating it like it's a dirty secret, I think they feel more comfortable and they feel like, oh, okay, it's not too big of a deal. Because it's really not. It's what you're attracted to. That we're all attracted to something. It's not the world's biggest deal who's attracted to who. But just be confident with it and be just mature, casual, confident. And I think it'll be okay, especially if you're not worried. If somebody were worried, I think at that point it would be time to seek professional advice on what to do in a situation where you're scared that your parents will kick you out or something. And in those cases, I think privacy about what you're attracted to is a safe maneuver. It's awful that that is a fact, but I think then privacy of what you're attracted to is important, and go find a safe place. Next question is from Tumblr. I just wanted to ask how you became friends with yourself. I've been struggling with it so much lately, and everyone keeps telling me one day I'll realize I wasn't so shitty. When depression is involved or self-hatred is involved, it is a very, very lonely place. And nobody can really tell you, oh, you're a great person, if you don't believe that you are. I know this. I know this firsthand experience. I'm not going to tell you, oh, one day you'll just realize that you're not shitty. No. Because I haven't even gotten there. There are days where I still wake up kinda not liking myself as much as I should. I became friends with myself and started treating myself as a third party in my own head, and started really seeing myself in a third person perspective of, okay, what if you were my friend and you came to me and said, I don't like you, and we can talk that out. Learning to talk to yourself on an individual basis, understanding yourself, writing things down from a third-party perspective of, I feel this about you because of this. I attacked myself a lot through writing, but then we started to find compromises. I started communicating with myself and started trying to find compromises. I also did seek professional help, and I do highly recommend that. I know finding a counselor or therapist is very difficult sometimes. I also know that not all are right for you. I had to go shopping around. I didn't sit down on the first counselor or therapist chair and go, yep, I'm definitely staying here. I actually went through quite a few where I even walked out halfway through the session and was like, honestly, we're not gonna work. You're not pushing me. You're not telling me what I actually need to hear. That's another thing. You do need to find a professional guidance person to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Because I was given too many times of what I wanted to hear, and it ended up hurting me over and over and over because I never was willing to make a step forward. It's not easy to find professional help. It actually can hurt sometimes, but there's literally no shame in it. No shame at all to say I actually need help way beyond myself. That can be a mind-blowing experience because you're going to get answers. You're going to be told things that you may not at all know about yourself. And they'll be able to help you through them. They'll be able to give you steps and guidance. It's not an easy place whenever you don't like yourself. But also try to remember that you were once a tiny, tiny child. And that tiny, tiny child is still you. Just grown up and been hurt. But you still deserve as much love and attention as a child. You wouldn't let a kid get bullied on the playground. Don't let yourself be bullied by yourself. Your little self does not deserve to be picked on by your older self. You do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to be taken care of. That's how I look at it for myself. I wouldn't want anybody hurting my little self when I was a kid. So why do I? Why do I attack the grown-up version of my childhood self? I deserve better, and you deserve better. But sometimes it doesn't come easy. But it'll be worth it. What advice would you give to a teenager going into a long-distance relationship? I'm not going to get too personal, but I was in a long-distance relationship in my past. And I do want to give a fair warning. It is very easy to get in the habit of only showing your good side over the internet on both sides. Basically, I don't believe that long-distance relationships can't work. But I do know from my experience and friends' experience that it's very easy to put your best foot forward whenever you don't have to see the person consistently. You get in the habit of kind of not getting online when you're upset, not answering the phone when you're upset, not answering texts when you're upset, and only communicating with that person when you're happy. And that can kind of put a damper on things, especially if you meet up face to face and realize this happy-go-lucky person has darker sides, isn't always happy. We actually don't click as well as we did online, especially with texting and IMing and stuff like that. It's very easy to reread your words and change it to sound better. Whereas maybe that's not who you are up front as a human being. You might be a person to actually snap at people. With the internet and text message, you can write out a long snap message of being mad at a person and then delete it and change it to maybe an okay or something simple. I do recommend actually a lot more phone calls than just messaging back and forth. I do think long distance relationships can last. As a teenager, I was a teenager when I was in a long distance relationship. Honestly, I can't speak for everybody because everybody's story is different. At this point, I don't really think rushing a relationship is very important. Definitely do not rush to do anything physical. Take things very slow. And just because you meet them face to face for the first time doesn't mean you need to make out with them right away. I know it may seem like you want to, and I know it may seem like the best thing in the entire universe to try to go do that. Don't rush anything. If it is meant to be, it will be. And those kisses and things, they will be there waiting. And they'll feel even better when you get to know the person face to face better. And I don't mean just a day, I don't mean just a week. Getting to know that person as a human being, as an individual, and not just the person that you knew online. They feel so much better whenever you've grown an attachment to that person for who they are in their own body and not just text on a screen. Alright then, last one for this video. I'm gender fluid. It's harder for me to be this because of my religious background to cross over the gender line. But I am having serious problems with picking a side. I've looked it up and talked, and they all agree. How do I accept and take pride in me? You know you. You do. Even if you think you don't know you. That person that you talk to whenever you lay your head down on your pillow and you have your very private internal thoughts, if you don't pass out right away like I do sometimes. That person that you can think to, run all your thoughts through, that person's you. That person up there, you know that person pretty well. You've been with that person your whole life. You know you. That's you. If that person is saying, today I'm a boy, well then today you're a boy. If the next day it says, I'm a girl, well then you're a girl. It's you. You know where you're at internally. You know what's making you most comfortable. I understand from a religious background that can be very awkward because your family may not want to accept it, they may not want to believe it. They're not you though. And their thoughts about you, you're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself. So their thoughts about you being a boy one day and a girl the next day shouldn't really matter. You know it's true. You know what's important for you. You know what makes you comfortable. And even if they don't accept, or they don't give you the correct pronouns that day, it doesn't define you. Their thoughts of you don't define you. You define you. I wouldn't try so hard to try to please them or get the correct pronouns from them, because what's going to happen is there will be a whole lot more hurt. Because sometimes people just, they don't want to accept, or they don't understand. It may take them time, slip-ups happen, but it doesn't define you at all. Even a person who can call you the appropriate pronouns all the times and gets it, if they slip up, it still doesn't define you. Taking pride in yourself simply means that you wake up going, I know myself today. I'm going to respect myself today by knowing myself today. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to call myself he. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to call myself she. Because I know who I am today. I appreciate it. I love it. This is me. Not many people know themselves. So the fact that you can wake up and know yourself, that takes pride. That takes so much amazing pride in your own self. To know who you are. That's awesome. Many people have to go to therapists or counselors to try to figure out who they are. You know who you are. Take pride in that. It's amazing and wonderful that you know who you are. Thank you all so much for watching and for the questions that you asked. I will be answering more, so if you would like to leave comments down below, I will be happy to answer as many as I possibly can. And if you would like, please subscribe so that you don't miss a single advice video. Thank you.